Hey, what's up guys? This is Bryce VanHoosen, and today I want to talk to you about my nuts. Specifically, these new nuts that I just got in the mail from Lok-N-Roll. So these are fully compensated nuts that are basically a drop-in replacement for the standard Floyd Rose nut that comes with the Floyd Rose double locking tremolo system. I first got wind of these when Gregory, the founder, basically hit me up on Instagram and said, hey, if you're going to be at NAMM 2020, stop by the Floyd Rose booth and check out these new Lok-N-Roll nuts. And I was really intrigued because I've always felt like the nut on the Floyd Rose system is kind of the weak point. I mean, this is pretty perfect, I think, in my opinion. It does everything it needs to do. It's very utilitarian, very customizable. You can set it up. The poor old nut really has not gotten very much attention. So it was really cool to see that somebody had actually been doing something about that and making sort of a compensated nut that's going to correct a lot of the problems that you're going to run into with a normal Floyd Rose nut. Now, my experience with the downfall, or the shortcomings, I guess, if you will, of the standard Floyd Rose nut was in 2016 when I was in the studio recording the Night Hides the World album with my old band Spellcaster. In the intro bit to that song, The Accuser, there is a kind of chordy bit that our bass player Gabe Franco wrote. And when I went to play it in the studio to actually record the part, it was super out of tune. I mean, we're basically just playing kind of, I can't even remember how it went off the top of my head. Basically just playing some like real simple kind of like cowboy chords here using like the first 3 frets of the guitar. And it was super out of tune. So come to find out, this is kind of a common theme for a lot of people and a lot of nuts that aren't compensated. They're just kind of slotted. To run into kind of like some tuning issues on the first sort of, you know, 1 through 3 or 1 through 5 fret area on the fretboard. A compensated nut fixes that. The Lok-N-Roll nuts certainly fix that. So to me, that is amazing. I mean, anything that's going to make you make music easier and stay in tune better and just sound better is amazing, especially when it's something you can just kind of throw on your favorite guitar and kind of just use. So with that being said, I think when I posted this last night, I had some questions from people about, you know, what exactly this does and sort of what a compensated nut is specifically. So basically a compensated nut is the nut equivalent of what the bridge is already doing. So we could say that a bridge is more or less compensated, right? So we intonate the bridge by basically moving a saddle forward or backward, depending on, you know, if a string is sharp or flat or whatever. Because when you press down on a string, you're shortening the length of it and basically making it go up in pitch. Sometimes that will actually send the fretted note sharp a little bit. So you adjust at the bridge and sort of, if it's sharp, you extend it out so it's a little bit flatter, and you're basically making a, you know, as true as possible note at the 12th fret and beyond. Not so necessarily with the nut. The nut's just kind of there. It's just meant to sort of hold the strings and kind of keep things in tune. The normal Floyd Rose nut does a great job of doing that. It keeps everything in tune. It's certainly a much better improvement over the non-locking nut. I feel when you're using a tremolo especially, it keeps things much more in tune. The Kaler nuts, they're garbage. Get out of here. So what a compensated nut does is it basically just does the little bit of fine-tuning that you would do sort of at the bridge, but at the nut. Instead of just leaving the nut kind of where it is to sort of hold the string, it's kind of been through various scientific methods, I am sure, engineered essentially to be the most in tune. If, you know, that is your E or D, since I'm tuned down a full step, then, you know, basically that's going to be your D sharp. So that is essentially how that works. So some of the design elements that I really like with the Lok-N-Roll nuts, basically there's no sharp edges. You're not going to hit your finger or whatever if you're moving up to, you know, the first fret super quick. Especially with these little fret wraps, I can just kind of slide it on and slide it off. You could never do that with the normal one with the little Allen wrench, or the little Allen keys kind of sticking out there. The other thing that I really like about it is it actually has kind of like a little lip here that sits on the very edge of the fingerboard and basically ensures that you're getting the most perfect nut height that you can get for, you know, whatever fretboard radius or something that you have on your guitar. So that's really nice. I have my guitar, it's basically in tune. So the first thing that Gregory showed me when I was at their booth at NAMM this past January was basically if you're doing the tuning thing and you're hitting the 5th fret and doing the open of the next string. It's the same note, and that's crazy because usually you get it and it's slightly different. It warbles a little bit, it's kind of out on one of them, but same note. That's insane. My kind of more cowboy chords, I guess, if you will, are going to be super in tune, so... Let's take a look at it. I'm going to pull up the tuner and we can kind of see that my first fret here is going to be super in tune, and we'll compare it with another guitar that does not have a Lok-N-Roll compensated nut. Alright, so I got my Jackson CD24 Concord with the Lok-N-Roll compensated Floyd Rose nut plugged into a tuner here. So let's get some readings, and I'm going to show you basically where I'm tuned at, which is D standard. And then we'll take a tuning at the first frets to see how accurate we are. Alright, so let's check out where we're at here. So, there we go. D, A, F, C, G, and low D. Alright, so first fret. D sharp, A sharp, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. It's pretty right on the money. Cool. So that was pretty much what I expected, but now we're going to take some readings from this gorgeous Ferrari Red King V Pro. I love this guitar. Again, no matter what results we get, this is not going to be any kind of dog against this guitar. It's a really well-made, beautiful instrument. I used this on the Silvertone Becoming a Demon EP, recorded with it, soloed with it, took it on the tour that we did after that, and it's an all-around solid, reliable instrument, and I love it. But let's plug it in and we'll get some tuning readings and see where we're at on the first fret. Alright, so now I have my King V in gorgeous Ferrari red here. Now this isn't a dig against this guitar. I love this guitar. It's amazing. I think it probably just needs a Lok-N-Roll nut upgrade as well. So here we go. D, A, F, C, G, and D. Alright, let's see where we're at. First fret. Okay, pretty good. And we are way off on that A sharp. Way off on that F sharp. C sharp, way off. G sharp, way off. D sharp, way off. Again, I didn't change tunings or anything. Not making any changes or whatever to the guitar. This is just what we got. Alright, again, that was pretty eye-opening, and I think that totally just speaks for itself. So, the Lok-N-Roll compensated Floyd Rose nut, direct drop-in replacement for any Floyd Rose equipped guitar with the standard 2-screw Floyd Rose nut. If you're using Jacksons like me, you're going to want the R3 nut. That's the one that's basically made for the 12-inch radius that we have at the lower part of the guitar. So, but I am actually giving one of these away. So we're going to do a giveaway, and I have another R3 locking nut. This one is in, I think this is vintage copper. This is a new color that basically just came out this year, I believe. So they had one of these, and they were kind enough to send it to me. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway on this, and I think If you're somebody who, you know, really wants to play a guitar that's super in tune and a really just well fine-tuned, well-oiled machine, you definitely want one of these. So we're going to be doing a giveaway. Check out the description of the video for basically the rules on how you can enter. We'll announce the winner probably in a couple days, and I'll send this out to you. So be sure to check them out. I got all links in the description below. So yeah, thanks for watching. Again, I'm Bryce VanHoosen, and we'll see you next time.